Today's lecture is number 10, and it is about the translation of drama. Again, as I said in previous lectures, you should, by the end of this lecture and by the end of studying this lecture and doing all the exercises you are required to do with regard to this lecture, you should be able to understand and show understanding of the concept of drama translation. And of course you should be able to translate, some types of drama or plays, So hopefully by the end of this lecture you would be all right with regard to this particular literary text. What we are going to do today, I'm going to explain to you what we mean by drama, and then we will be talking about the translation of a drama, and we will take Shakespeare's plays as or Shakespeare's plays as central texts, and then we would hint at how to translate a song, whether it is for the radio or for the stage, and we'll give you some practicals to do this. Now first, what is a drama? What is meant by drama? A drama is the specific mode of fiction represented in performance. It means performance. The term comes from the Greek word action. Drama means action, means to perform, means to do, means to act. You stand up, you act, you do, perform. You perform what? You perform a fiction or a story or event or whatever. It's a plot. You perform a plot. Now this is what we mean by a drama: performance, acting, doing. And the word drama originally came from the Latin word meaning action. Now the structure of dramatic text, unlike any other forms of literature, it is influenced by the production. It is influenced by the production team and the reception, the people who receive the text or receive the action. And drama originally, not originally, but what really matters to us here, modern tragedy, Hamlet, for instance. Hamlet is an example of a drama or a play or a drama, or it was written in 1601. There are two types of drama: tragedy and comedy. And the origin of of these two types came from Greek. So they are symbols of the ancient Greek muses, Thalia and Melpomene. Thalia was the muse of comedy, the laughing face, while Melpomene was the muse of tragedy, the weeping face. In other words, there was a comedy and there was a tragedy. A comedy is supposed to make you laugh, and a tragedy is supposed to make you cry. This was in the Greek time. Now, again, it's now the meaning of a drama has slightly changed nowadays, especially when it comes down to when we see all these plays and series on TV. Drama in this sense refers to a play that is neither a comedy nor a tragedy. You know, in this narrow sense that the film and the television industry and film studies adopted to describe drama as a genre within their respective media. Sometimes they say, well, this movie is a drama, or that series is a drama. So this concept of drama is not the same concept of, you know, the concept used in the Shakespearean time, or in the Greek time. You understand? Because, you know, the concept changes according to, you know, time and history. But the drama is often combined with the music and dance. The drama in opera, for instance, is generally sung throughout. Musical generally include both spoken dialogue and songs. So a drama is really, I mean, the concept of drama covers all these activities, whether it is in a film, in a movie, or on TV, or on theater. It is some kind of acting. It is some kind of performance. Sometimes it has music. Sometimes it doesn't. It could be spoken. It could be like in the form of a dialogue. It could be in the form of songs, and it could be a play written for page or as a text. So this is very briefly. This is a brief introduction about what we mean by a drama. Now there are many types. Many forms of a drama. The following is just a list. Right? It doesn't mean that it is exhaustive list. Right? I mean, it's just types of improvisation. Like, for instance, at school in the UK, for instance, they say, okay, today who can come up and improvise and tell us a little story for 1 minute. This is how they really teach drama from, let's say, from year 1, year 2, year 3. Can you come out and act for 1 minute? It gives the students. It gives the student the confidence. It gives him the opportunity to speak, to perform, to build this confidence, and to learn. And I mean, we can do it at home. Why don't we do it at home? Come, my son, come, my brother. Can you, for instance, stand there and tell me what happened today, or at school? Can you act out in a funny way, or in a tragic way? So you can really practice this improvisation. You can really role play. Role play, students are given a particular role in a scripted play. After rehearsal, the play is performed for the class, school, or parents. You know, so role play form. At the end of the term or at the end of the year, parents go to schools to attend, for instance, a goodbye party or a graduation party, and there is a kind of role play drama or something like that. So this is another type of a drama. Mime. Children use only facial expressions and body language to pass on a message, script to the rest of the class. So they mimic, he's mimicking and so on. Masked drama. Masked drama, the main props are masks. You cover. Children then feel less inhibited to perform and overact while participating in this form of a drama. Now, when you put a mask on your face, whether you are a child or an adult, you don't feel scared or shy or embarrassed from really acting. So this is another type of drama. It helps. And there is another, puppet plays. Children use puppets to say and do things that they may feel too inhibited to say or do themselves. you know, they use sometimes if you have children or brother and sisters, and you've got these toys, and they play with them. You know, you do this, you do that. It's like a kind of trying to act, trying to perform. Now, the whole idea of saying what I'm saying is to give you a message that when you are translating a drama, you need to take into account all these types. How are you going to translate this type of drama or play? You know, so you need to understand all these forms of a drama first, and then let's move to another point. Then you ask yourself, okay, how am I going to translate the drama? Okay, what now the main problem that theater translation scholars and practitioners are confronted with is the definition and subsequent position of the dramatic text. In other words, whether the play is primarily a literary genre or textual sign of the larger theatrical system. Now the question you ask yourself, is the drama or is the play, is it a dramatic text, or is it just a literary genre? Is the text for performance, or is it just a literary text? You need to ask yourself, this text you are claiming that it is a play, is it for performance or is it for page? In other words, do you want me to translate it for the theater to act out or to perform, or you want me to translate it for people to read? You need to ask yourself. So there are so many approaches to translating a drama or translating a play. Okay. So we take, for instance, an example of Shakespeare. Now, Shakespeare, as you probably know, I'm sure you must have read something about Shakespeare. Shakespeare is, considered to be among the most widely translated writers and the most frequently performed playwrights in the world, in world literature. He's really considered to be the best, because if you study English and you haven't studied Shakespeare, it means you haven't studied the English literature, and you learn a lot from him. We'll have some examples of his writing, but what matters to us here is what kind of problems a translator might face when he or she translating Shakespeare or Shakespearean plays. Now, Shakespeare is well known for his language, for his style, for his ideas, for his openness, for his liberty, for his complicated plot, and so on. Now, the following are characteristics or features of Shakespeare's textual writings. Now, you have obscure, Shakespeare obscure, the range. Let me read this out for you. The range of technical problems that the translator of Shakespeare may be faced with is quite formidable, is quite unbelievable, including, as they do, the many textual cracks. Shakespeare's obscure, cultural, and intertextual allusions, means references. In the text, there are so many allusions, so many associations, references to this and that. his archaisms means he uses Old English and neologism, his contrastive views of words of Anglo-Saxon and Romance origins. He uses words from Anglo-Saxon, means very short, one syllable, two syllable words, and then Roman words, Roman words or Latin words, huge one, long ones. His use of homely image, mixed metaphors, and iterative imagery, the repetition of thematic keywords, the personifications, Shakespeare's pun, ambiguities, and so many forms, so many forms of linguistic components, linguistic elements, cultural elements, stylistic elements or stylistic features, semantic dimensions, associations. So you really need to be aware of all these, features to be able to translate a drama written by someone like Shakespeare. Now I have chosen here an example of Shakespeare's play. It's called The Merchant of Venice. How are you going to translate this excerpt from Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 3? Now, are we going to translate it for page or for stage? So you need to ask yourself. Let's see. Scene 3, Venice Street. Enter Shylock, Salarino, Antonio, and Jailer. Shylock and Antonio. To give you an idea, Shylock is a Jewish rich person. Antonio borrows money from Shylock, but unfortunately he cannot pay him back on time. Now, and Antonio is taken to prison. Now Shylock, what he says? Jailer, look to him. Tell not me of mercy. This is the fool that lent out money gratis. Jailer, look to him. Antonio, what he says? Hear me yet, good Shylock. Now, Antonio in jail, and Shylock is, saying to him what he has said. Now, how would you translate this into Arabic? And I've given you A, B, C, and D. Number one, Al-Murabi, because Shylock, he asked for interest on the money he lent Antonio. Al-Murabi, As-Sajjan, ونطلع إليه وسلم يقول ليس لي من رحمة، وهذا هو الأحمق الذي أفترض من دون مقابل المال. السجان والنظر إليه. تسمعني حتى الآن والمرابي جيد. This is a googly translation, by the way. I leave it to you. This is googly translation. B. Shylock, أيها السجان انظر إليه لا تسألني الرحمة، هذا هو الأحمق الذي اقترض المال بدون فوائد. أيها السجان انظر إليه. أنطونيو، اسمعني يا شيلوك الطيب. سي. شايلوك، انظر إليه أيها السجان ولا تطالب مني أن أرحمه، هذا الذي اقترض المال بدون مقابل. يا سجان انظر إليه. أنطونيو، على رسلك يا شايلوك الطيب. دي. شايلوك، يا سجان انظر إليه لن أرحمه، فهذا الذي استدان المال بدون مقابل. انظر. أنطونيو، لم تسمعني بعد يا عزيزي يا Shylock. Now, which one would you go for? Remember, are you translating text for text, or text for page, or page for page, or you are translating for stage? It means to be performed. You need to be aware of this. All right? So, this is an example of how to translate a play. Now, I would like, now, if you want to translate a song from English into Arabic, or from Arabic into English, how are you going to translate a song like this into English? Are you going to translate it for the radio, or for the stage, or for the page? Now, how would you translate the following Arabic song into English? Would you translate the first part of the song below A, B, C, D, or something else? The song says, I don't know whether you have heard of it. غسل وشك يا آمار بالصابون وبالحجر وينك يا آمار غسل وشي مشط شعرك يا آمار بالمشط الحلو مكسر وينك يا آمار مشط شعري. Now, this is the song. How are you going to translate this colloquial song, into English? Would you translate it? A, wash your face, moon, with some soap and stone. Where are you, moon? I am washing my face. B, have you washed your beautiful face, my moon? Have you washed it with some soap and stone? Where are you, my cheeky moon? I'm washing my face. Wash your face, little moon, with soap and with the stones. Where are you, little moon? Washing my face. Wash your face, sweet love, with soap and stone, with the hay and the hoe. Where are you, sweet love? Washing my face with the hay and the hoe. Now, I leave it to you, which is the most appropriate translation to that song. Okay? Now, you need, in addition to the linguistic and cultural translation of the song, the content and the form, the translator needs to work on the translation of the style. You need to think of the style. Now, this is a song in Arabic. Can you make it a song in English and be sung and acted and performed? And the style, would you be able to translate it in a style that be acceptable to an English reader? So you need to be aware of the archaic, the dialectical or the idiosyncratic features of the writer. To be able to translate it into English and achieve equivalence in English, communicative purpose, good style, and good effect, and impact on the reader. Now, I have this exercise, the practical A, translate the following into Arabic, use your creative ability in your translation. So this is an example of the same play. I would like you to translate in a style that is fit for a page, not for the theater. Just translate it, but make it really good. And I would like you to translate the rest of the song, all of it. It is very important song, by the way, and it's as I said earlier, and I will repeat myself, that everything you take here and mentioned in the slides and in the handouts are required in the exam. So you need to really read them, translate them, practice them, and leave it to God, inshallah. Do your best and leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? And so I wish you all the best, and thank you very much indeed. Thank you. And see you inshallah next seminar or next lecture. Assalamu alaikum.